Welcome back. You're watching Hard Facts right here on CNN News 18. We're taking you now to a story that is very importantly right in focus as it should be. As we speak, 60 hours have gone by since 40 workers remain trapped in an under-construction tunnel in Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand. This incident took place on Diwali morning, 5:30 a.m. A portion of the tunnel collapsed suddenly, leaving the 40 workers who were on a 12-hour shift behind layers of debris and rubble trapped in the darkness. Now, these are workers from across the country, coming in from Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Bihar, West Bengal, Assam. Their families, as we speak, are awaiting anxiously for each update as they prepare for a third night underground. For now, we've been told that the workers have received food, water and oxygen. What little food can be transported to them through air compression. We're also being told that this wait, our wait, is going to be a long one. Experts say this is a process that could take a day more, 2 days more, because the process of removing debris right now is proving to be a deeply challenging one. It's replete with issues. Now, tonight on the show, as we pray for the safe rescue of these 40 workers, it's our duty to ask, why did this incident happen in the first place? Was there a lack of precautions for these workers? Or where experts are saying that the construction of a tunnel in the first place in this region, that was the issue. Is that what is to blame? When it comes to a tunnel, it's usually one of three problems that leads to a collapse. Either geological issues, construction issues, or groundwater penetration of some kind that's taking place. Now, as we speak, it's important to tell you, and as we enter this discussion, it's important to tell you that a government committee is investigating this. But experts are saying, as we've already told you, that even in the beginning of this project, environmental red flags were loud and clear. The entire region is full of mountainous soft rock. Far more precaution needed to be taken when this was happening. Now, we know that the workers on the ground were themselves apprehensive about the structure's strength. Interviews after this incident has happened to various media organizations point to that. Tonight on Hard Facts, we're connecting with experts to understand, to get down to the truth. Were red flags ignored? Take a look. This is the story.
A lot of family members, a lot of people are still waiting to get the first glance of the people who are still stuck inside, basically fighting the battle against time. What remains to be seen now as to how quickly can this entire saga actually come to an end, because the main focus of the rescuing team and the rescuers at this point in time is to make sure that all these people who are stuck inside are brought out safely at the earliest.
परेशान मत हो गया, बहुत लोग बात करेंगे बचाने खातिर। आराम से निकल जीवो, कोनो चिंता की बात नहीं है।
मैंने बात की है, जो श्रमिक भाई अंदर हैं उनके पारिवारिक जनों से भी बात हुई है। सभी वहाँ पर कुशल हैं और जो ह्यूम पाइप इत्यादि हैं, टेक्निकल टीम उसको असेंबल्ड करने में लग गई है और जो भी समय लगेगा जल्दी से जल्दी जो है उनकी कुशलता से बाहर आ जाएं, इसी काम में हम सब लोग लगे हुए हैं।
Okay, first an update on the rescue process as it's continuing. The drilling operation has not started yet. Final preparations as we speak to start the process are underway. At around 10 p.m. is the time. It's hoped that the drilling process will start. What does that mean? Where in the entire process are we right now? We have a colleague joining us from the ground. Anshul Singh has been in Uttarkashi for the last 24 hours. He's been bringing us report after report of the situation. Let's go over to Anshul to understand more. Anshul, can you tell us first, can you just start our show by telling us, start our debate by telling us where in the rescue process are we? The attempts that were made today, what do the engineers who were involved in the process have to say about that? What are their hopes for tomorrow and for tonight? Tonight, is there a temporary pause?
So yes, as of now, there is absolutely no pause that the rescuers are taking at this point in time. Remember, the first plan of action that was put in place, that actually failed miserably, in which the rescuers actually tried to remove the debris from the very location where the incident had happened. And as soon as they were removing the debris, new debris used to fall on that place, and hence very little headway was made in this direction for at least 24 to 36 hours. Post that this new plan was devised, in which it was prepared that a tunnel would be built inside, where pipes would be sent inside after drilling, and from that the laborers would eventually crawl out. Now remember, the debris is at least 50 meters in length, approximately 150 to 160 feet, 60 feet in length. So it is going to take a lot of time for them to actually drill through, put a pipe in, and then make sure that these people, the lives that are stuck inside, they are brought out. The job of bringing them out is of the NDRF, but yes, engineers and experienced people from all across the country are now on ground zero, working round the clock just to make sure that the entire process of drilling this hole that they want to and putting in this pipe is done in the best of the manner, so that no untoward situation happens, because this is yet again, this is another plan that has been put in place. Will this plan work? That is still a big question mark. Now, if everything goes according to the plan of the rescuers, then what sources have confirmed to CNN News 18 that it is going to take somewhere around 38 to 50 hours, depending upon the terrain of the debris. If at all the debris just has small stones and just sand, then it is going to take approximately 35 to 38 hours. But if at all there are big boulders, big stones that are stuck in between the debris, then it is going to take some extra time to actually cut through that stones, and then yet again build this entire route through which the rescuers can be relieved. But yes, the only silver lining, especially for the rescuers in this entire point, is that all the people who are stuck inside are actually safe. There is no immediate threat to their lives, because continuously we are seeing that food, medicines, water and oxygen is being supplied. Also, at the location at which these people are stuck, there is a cavity of at least 2 kilometers, which means that they are not stuck in a very confined area. They can easily move around, and hence a continuous conversation is also happening with them. Just the people are trying to make sure that they stay safe and they feel confident that yes, people are coming to get them out. So yes, the next few hours are going to be very important at this point in time. As we told our viewers, that the preparations are underway. They are trying to tap through the entire debris so that it gets stuck together and there is no untoward situation happens when eventually the drilling starts. If everything goes according to plan, then at approximately 10 p.m.
Thank you for bringing us that update. Anshul is with us on the ground, so we will keep checking in with him. I want to understand right now from the guests who are with us what has possibly led to this long term. So let's do that. We will keep checking with Anshul to get real-time updates about what's happening on the ground right now in terms of the rescue efforts. We have two guests with us right now. Vimlendu Jha, an environmentalist, is with us. We also have Yashpal Sundrial, an earth scientist, who's with us. Mr. Sundrial, I'm going to come over to you first. If you could explain to our audiences first the composition of this entire region, because much has been made about the very sensitive nature of the rock formations here. What does that mean? Could you explain to our audiences what are the precautions that should have been taken? Some analysts are saying that the environmental checks were also not done. Mr. Jha, I'll come to you to discuss that. But first, Mr. Sundrial, do go ahead.
Okay. Actually, frankly speaking, I had not been to that area, but I, being the professor in HNV Garhwal University, I know the local geology. The rock type we call in geology, the rock type is phyllite, and phyllite is a very weak rock over which this tunnel is being constructed. And phyllite rock, the composition of phyllite rock is mainly composed of the clay minerals, and these clay minerals have the property of the soil and pinching if they get some moisture. So the first of all, the rock type was very weak. This tunnel is supposed, I read in the newspaper that the total length of the tunnel was 4.5 kilometer long between the Silkara and Dandalgaon, and it was 2.34 kilometer completed from the side of the Silkara and 1.75 kilometer from the Dandalgaon. It means that only 500 meter was remaining to construct. And this happened, the tunnel damaged between 205 to 260 meter from the Silkara side. And now you can see that why this incident is happened. In very short, I want to tell you that when implementing agency compromise with the quality of construction, only in that case such things happens.
Okay. Mr. Sundri, I'll just stay with us. Vimlendu Jha, an environmentalist, is also with us. Mr. Jha, you are very familiar with this region. I know that you've taken students up to this region. You've explored these regions. Can you tell us, in your experience, what have you seen when it comes to the construction that's taking place here? Tell us about that. Much has been written in criticism of the kind of development and the pace at which development is taking place in these regions. Do speak to that point, sir, and what your first thoughts were when you saw this take place.
Absolutely, Toya. So, in fact, I just witnessed this location 6 months ago as well, when the tunnel work was going on. And of course, I've been talking about it for last, 9 months at least, since we've been talking about Joshimath, because, we cannot look at the sinking of Joshimath or many other instances that have actually taken place in last 1 year or last couple of years in isolation. These are all connected episodes, because we've seen Himalayas have actually been giving us enough warning for years together. And despite those warnings, despite those ecological vulnerabilities, as Professor was talking about, that we need to understand the geology and ecology of the area before plan a development project. Indeed, everyone would want to have a wider road. But, in 2021, when Ravi Chopra actually resigned from the Supreme Court appointed committee, clearly the reason was that the Supreme Court also agreed to broaden the road to 10 meters versus what was earlier 5.5 meters. So therefore, for a smoother, faster, more convenient mobility, what we have done is that we have not taken into account the kind of project that perhaps needs to be allowed in ecological fragile Himalayan zone. So we're talking about 65 tunnels. In this particular project, 66,000 trees will actually be chopped. And already chopped, 56,000 have actually been cut down in this area, in this Barkot area. That's where we actually have been doing Yamuna Yatra for the last 20 years. More than 6,000 trees have actually been chopped off. Why? Because we have a better mobility. So, we have. It's very, very important for us to understand that this project could not be looked at, or this disaster shouldn't be looked at in isolation. We've seen similar disasters. In fact, everything that actually happened in the Himalayan region this monsoon, when we've seen, parts of Himachal completely inundated and flooded, is because of the imagination or the lack of imagination or lack of scientific temperament in our planners.
Mr. Jha, can I just ask you, because we're on our last minute, I just want to ask you, often development is pitted against environmental good. You've seen that again and again. Tell our audiences, what does a world where both are put on the same platter equally, what does that look like? What are countries that are doing that? Tell us.
Okay, so you know what? Development and this entire facade or this argument that we have that development has to happen at the same time and we need to strike a balance. There's nothing called balance when the ecological balance of Himalayas is actually destroyed. Okay. You will never be able to balance.
Jha,
so you want
I'm so sorry, we have run out of time, unfortunately. Thank you for making that point. I'm so sorry that we've run out of time. We haven't been able to take your point in its entirety. Okay, breaking news coming in. The ECI sent a show cause notice to the Delhi Chief Minister for maligning the image reportedly of the Prime Minister through two tweets. We'll try to get you more details about what those tweets were. We have Aman Sharma with us right now. Aman, tell our audiences the context, please, of the show cause notice. What are the tweets in question? First, tell us, please.
Toya, the BJP had complained to the Election Commission of India on November the 10th. Mr. Hardeep Singh Puri, Mr. Anil Baluni had gone to the ECI and filed a complaint against the Aam Aadmi Party. These were two tweets made from the official handle of the Aam Aadmi Party and got widely circulated on the social media. They were basically, the EC is saying these were malicious. These were tweets were in a way, done in a way which, they were animation, caricature and drawings and modified content, superimposing the Prime Minister with a businessman. The ECI notice says it was trying to create a narrative that the Prime Minister is supplicating or beseeching him for favors regarding a businessman. The EC is saying that such kind of tweets from the official handle of the Aam Aadmi Party are a violation of the Model Code of Conduct. The national convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, has now been show-caused by the Election Commission to come and explain these statements and allegations by 16th November, which is after 2 days, on why appropriate action should not be taken for the violation of Model Code of Conduct. And basically these tweets, the ECI has now saying are a violation of the model. And one of these tweets was regarding the elections in Madhya Pradesh, which comes under the direct purview of the Election Commission, since the Model Code of Conduct is on in Madhya Pradesh. That is why the Aam Aadmi Party and its national convener have been show-caused by the ECI to come and explain this matter.
Okay, Aman, thank you for bringing us those details. 5 states, remember, seeing elections this month itself. That's all that we have for you here on the show. Thank you for staying with us through this last hour. We hope we got you just a little closer to the truth.